people continue to cross over illegally as they have for, 100 years, 200 years?
So it's the same.
I think that one of the funny things that has
That's not
happened
honest.
is that for months, I'm sorry, I think we're talking over each other.
No, I'm saying that's dishonest. You're saying don't trust the Republicans on their messaging.
Man, I just watched David Pakman get absolutely wrecked on the Megyn Kelly show. He was sitting there trying to spin excuses and defend the current administration's messes, and Megyn and her guests weren't having any of it. They called out every bit of his BS right to his face. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen the guy actually debate anybody for real. He's always got that soft, condescending, kind of dismissive vibe when he talks, like he's talking down to you. And Megyn clearly picked up on it too, because she did not let up for a second. She stayed right on Soy Boy Pakman the whole time. Anyway, let's jump in and talk about it, folks.
Incredible desperation. And I have to say, Hogan, this is not a personal attack in any way. You seem like a really nice guy. We don't know each other. There's almost an affirmative action with these Trump folks where if these were football coaches that had lost everything for a decade, Kayleigh McEnany wouldn't be on Fox News. We wouldn't be going to Hogan and saying, give us your state. They've lost everything. And somehow, through some kind of affirmative action, I guess we still hear from them, but they're desperate, Megyn, because this has gone sideways for a decade.
Wait, what are you suggesting, David, that because the Republicans have had a rough couple of electoral cycles, everyone who is on Team Trump should just go underground? They shouldn't speak anymore,
No,
even though
by no
he's
means.
going to be the Republican nominee?
No, I'm glad to hear from Hogan, but there's a degree to which we would say, wait a second, how could his analysis, or it's not about Hogan, how could any of these analyses really accurately reflect reality when these are the analyses that lost them everything in 4 or 5 elections in a row? I would approach it with caution.
Go ahead, Hogan. What do you think of that?
Yeah. Okay. Let's unpack that. By that rationale, I guess we should never hear from Hillary Clinton again either, because she lost. Any Democrat who loses an election, you can't hear from them. Anybody who worked in a White House, worked in administration, shouldn't have a say-so in what's going on in this country. Of course, this is a battle between those who love America and those who hate America, because the positions of both parties they've been clearly articulated now for a long time. And so I think moving into 2024, as we kind of reset, and now we've lived under the failed policies of Joe Biden for the last 4 years, where Americans have been kicked in the teeth. They can't afford gas and groceries. Crimes are spiking all over their communities. Wars are breaking out all over the world. The southern border is bringing in, fentanyl, killing our American citizens, human trafficking, child smuggling. It's all up. I think the stark reality of the fact that we've got an upcoming election where these two men uniquely have a record, not as a governor saying, if you elect me, I promise I'll do this. I'm a senator. I did this for my state. Both of these folks were president. The records are stark. And the juxtaposition where we used to have to point back to Reagan, Megyn, you just played an incredible speech. Remember how good it was in the 80s? We can say we had record-setting success in record-setting time 3 years ago. It took one guy and his demented policies to tear us down this quickly. So this election, no question, is going to be significant for the future of America. But to say someone who lost an election or wasn't part of the winning team shouldn't have a say-so is so insane.
Go ahead, David.
Yeah, no, of course I'm not saying they shouldn't have a say-so. What I'm saying is at this point, it seems clear the American people see through it. And the people who lost 5 elections in a row are not the ones I'd be listening to on policy. Now, with regard to a lot of the stuff that Hogan mentioned there, we can go but one by one or not. I mean, just to pick a couple of things, because there was a lot there. On inflation, I mean, listen, groceries and gas, they were even cheaper under Obama. They were even cheaper under Bush and cheaper under Clinton. I mean, yes, there is inflation. We have not had a deflationary spiral, but inflation's at about 3% right now, which is what every serious economist says is the target. With regard to the record right now, unemployment, I mean, it's almost silly for me to do this because the American people know, but we've never had unemployment below 4%. We've never had unemployment below 4% for this long in 50 years, and it remains there. Wage growth has outpaced inflation. GDP is a completely normal and healthy 3%. It's like people know this.
Why don't you try immigration? Because that's in the news today, David.
Yeah.
Take that one up.
Well, I mean, ask me a question about it. What's the question?
Are we doing better under Joe Biden when it comes to illegal immigration than we were under Trump?
How do you define better?
Look, this is exactly what I'm talking about, folks. David Pakman comes across with that nice, polite attitude, but every single time he leans on whataboutisms, tries to dodge the real point, and plays this conveniently naive game. You'll hear him go, well, define that, or are the numbers actually up or down when the answer is staring everybody in the face? He just won't give a straight yes or no. That's the issue with a lot of these progressive folks on the left. They act like nothing's clear or objective. Megyn Kelly and her guests saw right through it. He keeps tap dancing around the hard questions, throws out random side topics that don't really matter or just happen to help his side, and pretends that giant pile of problems isn't even there. 3%? Come on, food, gas, fuel, depending on what you're looking at, are up 30, 40, 50, even 60 or 70%. But sure, 3%. That's why I can't stand listening to the guy. I honestly don't think he ever debates anybody for real. He just skirts around what people are actually asking and plays the game. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you agree or if you see it differently. Drop a like if you're enjoying this, and let's jump back in.
Fewer.
People continue to cross over illegally as they have for, 100 years, 200 years?
So it's the same.
I think
It's the
that
same.
one of the funny things that has
That's not
happened is
honest.
that for months, I'm sorry, I think we're talking over each other.
No, I'm saying that's dishonest. You're saying don't trust the Republicans on their messaging, and you come on here and want to tell me that it's the same. They're just continuing.
No,
there's been no
ebbs and
increase.
flows. There have been periods of
A couple of months ago, we had 10,000 a day
you-
crossing the southern border. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
and
think we're all talking over each other.
now,
Go
you
ahead, David. The
realize
floor is
too,
yours. Wait, Hogan, I'll bring you in, but let me defend that. Go ahead, David.
Oh, okay. No, listen, I mean, based on the Border Patrol statistics, there have been times during the Biden administration where crossings have on average been below where they were under Trump. At some points, they were above that. The funniest
Wow.
part to me about immigration is that now that Republicans themselves torpedoed the bill they wanted because Trump said, no, I need something to run on, I need something to do, Biden puts in place this limitation, which, by the way, doesn't solve the reason people are trying to come here. We need more immigration judges. I'm glad Biden made this point. Now that he did it, they're still not happy. And they're saying, well, it's only for political reasons. Why do you think Trump wanted to do this? It's also for political reasons. So this seems like a political game to me when the reality, Megyn, is we never permanently deal with DACA. We never permanently deal with the reasons people even want to come over here in the first place. It's a lame political football.
Wow.
You
Okay,
notice-
go ahead. It's fascinating to me for me to hear. I have to say, David, I appreciate you coming on the show because we don't get a lot of progressives, and they know I don't really agree with them on most things.
I don't know why not.
I actually really I appreciate you being here and saying, the way you see these things and the way the left views these things, because it's actually educational.
Well, I don't know about the left, but listen, I'm on the left. Countries have a right to enforce immigration policy. If you're here illegally, of course, you're subject to deportation. I mean, I think that there's a caricaturizing that happens of the left on this issue. I'm an immigrant from Argentina. We came here legally. I'm now an American citizen. People still write to me and say, you should go back to Argentina. But listen, I don't want the left characterized as something that it isn't on this issue. You'll never hear me say a country
I think
doesn't
I have
have a right to
them
enforce
dead to rights.
policy.
Otherwise, we'd have different policy. I mean, Hogan, you work for the Trump administration. The first thing that Joe Biden did when he took over was to reverse the three principal things that Trump was doing to stop the flow of illegal migrants across the southern border, the Remain in Mexico program, the asylum seekers en masse, and the construction of the border wall. He shut it all down. He sold off all the parts. You couldn't even try to rebuild the wall
was no
thanks to what he did. Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Hogan.
All right.
Folks, this is exactly what I'm talking about. David Pakman's just full of it. You've got like 75,000 tons of border wall materials sitting there for years. Stuff that got stopped under Biden and Harris after construction was already rolling. And he still won't even admit that illegal crossings have exploded, like tenfold or 20-fold. He won't call it the serious problem it is. Instead, you get the usual line. Well, we've always had illegal immigration. It's always been an issue. That's the soft, dismissive, slippery stuff he pushes every time. Megyn Kelly sees right through it, you can see through it, and I sure can. We've got a massive crisis on the southern border, and illegal immigration is a crime. So if the federal government decides to let way more of it happen, they're basically choosing to increase the number of crimes committed against their own people. Just let that sink in for a second. I honestly wish Megyn had hit him with that exact question. Anyway, drop a comment and tell me what you thought about what Megyn said to him. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.